Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection, and today, as Happy Death Day to You, the sequel to Happy Death Day, comes out next week. Today, we will be doing a retro review of Happy Death Day. All right, so for those unaware, the movie is the movie is basically a slasher comedy version of Groundhog Day. Young woman continually wakes up on her wakes up, goes throughout her day, gets murdered, wakes up the morning of the same day, continually. It also turned out to be her birthday, and she begins to remember little by little as the day goes on, as she continues to go through that little various details, until like, okay, all right, I've got, like, she's got the beginning, and like she's able to basically have both sides of the conversation with the guy whose dorm room she woke up. Outside the dorm building, all the people, all the things that happen, she is able, she's got it down. She figures out, she's got it down perfectly. The only thing that troubles her, though, is who's killing her. That, of course, becomes the big question. As the movie progresses, we end up discovering that by the end of the movie, one, she has become a better person. Two, she has seemingly fallen for Carter, the guy whose room she continually wakes up in, and she discovers that her roommate has been killing her. So, anyway, personally, I think it's a fun movie. It was. I kind of wish I had caught it in theaters. When it came out, I really wasn't going to theaters except for big deal movies, and even then, that was a little. I had to, really kind of say to myself, okay, what's a big deal movie? And so I didn't catch it at theaters, and then when it came out on Blu-ray, I was kind of like, well, I mean, it's not that expensive, but at the same time, the mixed reviews, nothing, glowing. So it's like, okay, well, pass. We'll catch it on Netflix or something. And I never did catch it on Netflix. I think it was on Netflix for a little while, but I never caught it on there. And, well, with the sequel being announced, I figured around Christmas time, hey, I'll just buy the damn thing myself. And to be fair, I really don't regret it. This is the viewing that I did for this time is actually the second time I've watched it. So, anyway. So first off, let's get into the casting note. We've got Jessica Rothe as Tree Gelbman, our main character. It's her birthday, as we are informed constantly every time she wakes up. Israel Broussard as Carter. He's it's his room that she's waking up in. We got Ruby Modine as Lori, Tree's roommate. Charles Aitken as Dr. Gregory Butler, one of her teachers, who she is having an affair with, which at various points throughout the various go-throughs of the day, we see her break off the affair. Rob Mello is John Toombs, a serial killer that is being held in the hospital as he recovered from gunshot wounds when he was captured. And Rachel Matthews as Daniel Boozman, who is I don't know what the hierarchy, but she is an important member of the sorority that Tree and Laurie are members of as well. I think she's the chairperson. I don't know. I didn't go Greek. Okay, so like I said earlier, it's Groundhog Day as a slasher comedy. It's got a really standard character arc for Tree. She starts off being what's a nice way of putting this? She's not the she's not the most likable heroine to begin with, but as about halfway through the movie, she actually starts to have, she has this epiphany of, wow, I'm not the best person. I have, I'm really horrible to people. Hell, you really get the idea a few go-throughs in when her and Carter are going through making a list of suspects, and it's like, okay, well, there's this guy, there's this person, the Uber driver I spat on last week, and it's like, wow, okay. Now I mentioned it's a slasher comedy, and it does indulge in many slasher tropes. It does do so more for laughs than scares, but those it comes off more as there's the use of the comedic use of the tropes is still done in a manner that respects the genre as a whole and doesn't lampoon it like the Scary Movie series did. The one idea I actually found rather interesting was a few go-throughs in. She ends up spending Tree spends the majority of the day hospitalized. And her x-rays show that she has various lesions and scarring, and Dr. Butler tells her that by all rights she should be dead because of all of this. Now, Carter's not too fleshed out. You kind of get I think most of his character, you kind of just look around his room and you kind of say, okay, he's a nice guy. He has a fondness for 80s movies. If nothing else, by the fact that there's a poster for They Live on his wall. Yeah. That's really the best I can really say to describe him as a character. Now, and one thing that caught my eye this time is that the movie's written by Scott Lobdell, who actually wrote a lot of the stories that got me into the X-Men comics back in the 90s. I know that's just a side note, really. Now, the movie's rated PG-13, so all of the kill scenes, pretty much, well, most of the, let me rephrase that. Most of the kill scenes start off with, a POV shot, and, the weapon coming down, and you hear something, but you don't, it bunch cuts right from the attack to wake up, and I think it does kind of, the kill scenes do suffer a little bit because of that, but at the same time, the lack of gore doesn't detract from the movie as a whole. So, yeah, overall, I recommend at least giving it a try. It's probably not going to be for everyone, but it has managed to find its audience to the point where it's getting a sequel next week, which which hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be doing a review of. There's a distinct possibility I'm also going to try and I'll also do a review of Alita Battle Angel next week. We'll see how things are looking. Anyway, that's it for today. I'll try and find something to put up for tomorrow. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Comment if you like. If you want to, I should say. Hit the notification bell to be informed when I put up new content. Links to Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon in the description box down below. This is Rock Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.